Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Hit the Ropes Radio. Few minutes late, but it's all good. This is Shane Howard. I will be joined shortly by the one and only Courtney McIntosh. Was trying to have him get a hang of running the boards. There was a little technical difficulties, and he will be on as soon as possible. But we've got some stuff to talk about when it comes to the current WWE landscape. We have the big return Monday night of The Undertaker. We knew this was coming from what happened at the Royal Rumble between Taker and Roman Reigns. It's not a surprise. I was I was thoroughly engaged in that final segment of Raw. So we'll talk about that once Matt gets on camera. Don't want to start anything without him. We've also got a resolution to the whole SmackDown number one contendership drama for Bray Wyatt's WWE Championship. So that will be discussed. The newest inductee to the WWE Hall of Fame is none other than the ravishing one, Rick Rude. And we also have, some news when it comes to the Hardy Boys. But we are joined by Mr. Courtney Mack. Welcome, sir. How are
Yo,
you?
what up? What up?
I think what you didn't do was click on the show that was already created. You probably just hit, like I don't know, maybe you hit just to go live right now. Not sure.
Oh, okay.
Like quick analysis of the situation. I'm not sure, but we are currently live, and we are already 15 minutes in. So let's just jump right in. Uh, I wanted to start with the induction of Rick Rude. Um, coming off of the Beth Phoenix, name last week. My personal feeling here is that we went back to normalcy with somebody who I feel is much more worthy of going in Rick Rude. How did his induction find you?
I'll be honest, man. I was like really happy because I saw a Bleacher Report reported it early Monday, and I was like, man, I'm glad that Rick Rude is getting some shine. And then like watching the promo video uh, for it, I was showing my wife like, yo, man, check this is like Rick Rude used to have the girls going crazy, and of course in the video they had pictures of girls like fawning all over him and stuff. I'm really happy for Rick that Rick Rude is finally getting his due. He's kind of like one of those forgotten greats because people forgot how good he was. The way he ended in WCW, but I think he was excuse me, still good in WCW for the most part. But yeah, man, I'm happy for Rick Rude.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I don't think we get a Val Venus without a Rick Rude.
True.
If people watching that vignette that they put together Monday night, you would see a lot of the Val Venus character with how Rick Rude carried himself in the ring, and it's not just Val Venus. Rhett Titus, his character from back in the ROH days. I was actually watching ROH. I know Red is still there. I think. Is his character doing the same stuff? I don't know because I've barely watched ROH. But there's some of Rick Rude there too. But yeah, just like you, I'm glad. I can't say that you know 100% knowledgeable when it comes to Rick Rude.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I've seen some of his stuff, and the stuff that I did see, I enjoyed, especially because I was a big DX mark back in the day, and when he was, part of the original D Generation X, that was another reason why I enjoyed the character.
Yeah, man.
But
I agree. I agree.
I think he's, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's the final inductee. Is that
Um,
correct?
I believe so because they have now 8 inductees. I'm pretty sure.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. Um I think they've got like all their especially with Rick being, they usually go with one post humus D,
Mm-hmm.
and is that one for this year. So for those who continue to wait, Owen Hart, be waiting because it ain't happening this year.
Yeah. But isn't the reason why he's not in kind of like because of his wife?
That's like the popular theory. Whether or not it's true, I don't know, but it's the popular thing, currently. John's in the chat room. He says he feels Christian is next, and he feels that there's two or three left. I'm assuming he's talking about inductees. That's going to be a big class if there's two or three more left. I mean, you said
I
there's
know.
already 8. John. John is usually on point when it comes to his facts.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say no on this one, but John has proven me, wrong in the past. Kind of a
Man,
lot
I mean,
more.
you got to think, we still do have 3 weeks till WrestleMania. So, I mean, we just might have more.
I don't do. They don't usually go all the way up to like the last with the induction, the nominees or inductees or whatever we want to call them at this current state.
That's true.
I don't think they do, but I could, like I said, I could be wrong. He's laughing because he knows he usually proves me wrong, but we'll see. All righty. So, uh, congrats to the family of Rick Rude. Um, I believe Ricky Steamboat is going to be handling his stuff. I'm looking forward. I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to that. The is never something that I truly want to go sit down and watch. There's always just one or two, maybe three people who are being inducted that I feel like, okay, I need to go out of my way and see what they have to say.
Okay.
I wish that Rude was still around so that we could have heard him speak.
Yeah.
Are there any celebrities this year?
Uh, I don't think so. I'm trying to look up the class right now. And unfortunately, WWE.com is like, too much for my browser to handle with, three three windows open. Um,
Yeah, I don't think there's any celebrities right now.
yeah, I don't think so.
Hmm.
Oh, anywho, let me see. Let me quick search here. 2017 Hall of Fame class. Okay. So let me see. Let me see. So you got okay. So Rick Rude is the sixth inductee into the Hall of Fame. So you got Rude, got Beth Phoenix, got Kurt Angle, got the Rock and Roll Express, or is that the Midnight Express?
They're the Rock and Roll Express
Rock
or
and Roll
Midnight
Express.
Express. I'm confused as well. You're the one with the info.
We are off to a bad start. Okay, so we got DDP, Rock and Roll Express, Kurt Angle, Teddy Long, Beth Phoenix, and Rick Rude. Yeah, so that's 6. Okay. His real name was Richard Rude, but Rude spelled R-O-O-D. Okay. All right. So yeah, there we go. We got 6 um we got 6 inductees into the Hall of Fame. So there you have it. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but something's like frozen on my screen. Hold on. Yeah. Take it for a second.
All right. All right. So one of the things we wanted to get in this week was kind of we're not going to talk about Fastlane. Darius and I recapped that Sunday night. Although if you want to go there, we can. My quick opinion on it, I didn't like the pay-per-view at all. Didn't like the way it ended. Didn't like Kevin Owens losing the belt. Yada, yada, yada. But I do want to get to the shows this week. I wanted to get to, Raw and SmackDown. So if you want to start off with Raw first, because it is the Monday show, we can go ahead and start off with there. I guess we don't have to give a full overview of Raw. We could actually just give a quick overview just because I didn't like Raw this week. It was pretty meh. It was more wrestling, less promos, which is, you would think is always a good thing, but it didn't really. I don't know, man. You had Samoa Joe, you had Chris Jericho on the show. Chris Jericho back. I did not like the KO Jericho promo at the beginning. I don't know, man. I just expected more out of a Kevin Owens promo. It was like very generic. It was very bland. So I was not a fan of that match. I was a fan of the Jericho Samoa Joe match. And that's pretty much all I really want to get to. I mean, it wasn't too much of anything that really is worth talking about from Raw to me this week. The women is like Raw continues to not necessarily know what they want to do with the women. The cruiserweights got some good time. I really, really like Gallagher. Jack Gallagher. He made a brief appearance. I love the Neville Rich Swann match. Man, Rich Swann's it's subtle things in wrestling that you see and you just enjoy every time you see it. Like for me, one of those things is Charlotte's moonsaults, because I think she pulls off impeccably timed and impeccably placed form and everything. Impeccable moonsaults. But man, those Rich Swann kicks where he just straight super kicks you in the mush, man. Every time they get me, and I enjoy that. His match with Neville was awesome tonight. I mean, not tonight, but Monday. I really enjoyed that.
Apparently that Gallagher match was the best match, to some on the pay-per-view, and I was kind of shocked that they gave Neville and Swan so much time on Raw.
I mean, the Neville Gallagher match was my favorite match from the pay-per-view on Sunday. It was a pay-per-view that wasn't really much to ride home about, but Yeah, that was my favorite match from the pay per view. Um, the ending of the show was very weird to me. Like, what was the like? So WWE continues to do confusing things with Roman Reigns. You know, he came out at the end of the show this week and was straight healing. He was straight up heel. You know, the Undertaker didn't say much.
did you expect like fans to really embrace Roman when he's going against?
Oh no, I I knew they wouldn't, and that's not that's not the problem I have. But it's like, where does WWE want to go with him? Is he gonna be, you know, the next John Cena, or is he gonna be, some brooding badass like he should be? I think he should adopt the same type of persona that his cousins have, because hey, heel Usos are the best Usos to me. Um, but I think that persona would fit him just as well as it fits them. Maybe not the same outfits and stuff like that, but I mean, hey, they family, so why don't Roman come out with the leather jean shorts and stuff like that? Hair is just straight, walking slow to the ring. But I don't know, man.
I don't think his character, well, not his character, but I don't think his personality, would allow him to pull that off. I've seen, what is it, Jimmy, the
Mm-hmm.
one that's married to Naomi. We've seen him on Total Divas.
Yeah.
So when he's not doing the haka and the ooh, so we get his personality. We see how he is off camera, and he
Mm-hmm.
is this cool type of guy. Street, urban, however you want to call it. He is that person. So this is just an extension of who he is.
Yeah.
On camera. I don't know if Roman is capable of pulling that off. I guess we don't
I
have quite a good sample size of Roman outside of the WWE, other than those PSAs that he did for being a dad.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that because if you look at all the interviews Roman does, especially like those outside of the ring, he's very soft spoken. He's very genuine. Like his off camera personality is like babyface. But he's not that in the ring. It's another thing I want to get to about Raw, but you know but yeah, it's I think they're just in a weird spot with Roman Reigns. And I think, WWE, maybe, and Roman Reigns too, has, dropped the ball with his character development. And we've gone over that to, we're blue in the face. But, I enjoyed how he came out and he told The Undertaker straight up, hey, man, he didn't call you out here. He called me out here, man. This is my yard. Um, and the Undertaker had the perfect response. Just look up at the WrestleMania sign, and that's all we needed. And then the choke slam. So,
Well, I mean, it's going to that main event. Well, not the last segment of Raw.
mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it because, for one, the Undertaker's entrance is still one of the greatest ever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and when he comes back from a extended leave or whatever you want to call it, it's always nice to see his entrance. It's always that first time back that I tend to watch the entire Undertaker entrance.
Mm-hmm.
Once we see him like on TV on a regular, I'm like, okay, this long ass entrance, let me skip past it, or I'll come right back. Let me flash back to something else. But it's his first time back. I take it all in. It's like seeing him again for the very first time. So he gets in the ring. Braun Strowman is already in the ring, and people people on online were like, why are they bringing Undertaker back and punking Strowman, and why is Strowman looking like a bitch and stuff like this? He just lost to Roman last night. Now he's doing this to the Undertaker. I didn't see that as a bad thing.
Me neither.
I I that actually made me like the Strowman character even more. And that
Right.
to me was like, if they want, this could just be another step in the Strowman as a baby face. The way he just respected the Undertaker and just bowed out of the ring. I didn't see it as him, tucking tail and running. No, he's like, I'm calling out Roman Reigns, and the Undertaker comes out. I'm sorry, you're not who I want.
Right.
I got no beef with you, so he
Right.
leaves. That's how
That,
I
and
took it.
that's how I took it too. And people want to talk about how all they punking Strowman. Um, I didn't see that at all. I thought it was more so, them punking Strowman, by having him lose to Reigns. But I understood why he lost to Reigns, because the WWE wants him to look strong before this match with the Undertaker. Even though I think, in the match that they had, which was my second favorite match on the card, the match that they had, he wasn't, neither one of them looked weak by the end of the match. It was a hard fought, it was a slugfest. It took Orton, what, 3 spears and like 17 Superman punches to put Strowman down. So it wasn't like got trucked, it wasn't like a squash, you know.
Right.
But I think both of them looked strong in the match. And I would have even been satisfied if it had ended in like a double count out or something like that. But excuse me. They both, look strong in the match. Although I would have, preferred to see Braun Strowman win, but we got what we got, and we knew that's kind of what we were getting. It's like WWE has fallen into like a trap recently of predictability. I think the last 3 pay-per-views were super predictable, and their storylines on TV are predictable. Once Goldberg, like I said on the show on Sunday, once Goldberg came out on Raw and declared himself next in line for the Universal Championship, you knew he was going to win at Fastlane, you know, and it's because wants Brock Goldberg for the title, which to me, a match of that magnitude does not need the title. But, it's also frustrating because, Goldberg is not going to wrestle a match over 2 minutes, So I'll be shocked if this match with Brock Lesnar goes more than 5 minutes, and it's going to be the last match on the card, which sucks. I think it's going to be a bad way to end WrestleMania, but I mean, hey, we're not there yet, So I don't want to, pass too harsh judgment, but it's kind of like, my mind is already made up about how this is going to be. So,
I definitely will stand pat in that I didn't feel like that match needed the world title, the universal title, I should say. Um,
mhm.
I feel that Kevin Owens should have came out of Fastlane as Universal Champion, and then we would have seen the breakup of Kevin Owens and Chris Jericho afterwards. Perhaps Jericho, comes out on Fastlane, tries to help Kevin Owens, uh, doesn't really go as planned. Yet Kevin Owens still finds a way to win the match,
Mm-hmm.
and then they have some kind of celebration Monday night, and Owens is like, you know what? First of all, you put me in that match, and then you nearly cost me the match, and that's what prompted him to beat the crap out of Chris Jericho. That's kind of how I would have gotten to it. Um, but you brought up predictability. Predictability to me is not always bad because you go and watch certain movies, you already know how it's gonna be. The bad guy is gonna end up losing at the end, and this person's gonna die, and that stuff. It we kind of know, so it
Right.
doesn't stop us from going to watch the movie. It's not gonna stop me from watching the WWE.
Right. It's not going to
But
stop me from watching it either.
but I don't know when I don't want to stick on the Goldberg and Kevin Owens thing because I know we were talking about Undertaker and the Roman Reigns. When it comes to predictability, let me throw this to you. Um, the Undertaker lost to Brock Lesnar. That's been his only blemish on his WrestleMania career.
Mm-hmm.
Now that that loss is under his belt, does he lose to Roman Reigns, who is the guy the WWE has been trying to, shove that rocket up his patootie to go to the very tippy top? Does the WWE have Roman win at WrestleMania? John believes so in the chat room. What do you think?
I believe so too. I wouldn't be surprised if if Undertaker won, but I think that they're gonna, because I mean, look, Undertaker came out right before Survivor Series and proclaimed that WrestleMania, what he wasn't gonna hang his hat on WrestleMania anymore, blah blah blah. He was back to digging holes and taking souls and all that, and we've only seen him one other time, you know, since then, and that was Survivor Series. I mean, not Survivor Series. That was a Royal Rumble. You know,
Right.
uh,
So
it's
so if you were to pick now, does Reigns win or does Undertaker win?
if I was to pick now, Undertaker wins.
Okay. Now, what do you see happening with Strowman now that he has stepped out of the ring when the Undertaker count came? Does Strowman move on to somebody else? Do we see Strowman suddenly throw his name in for the Andre the Giant Battle Memorial Battle Royal,
And
or does Strowman continue feuding with Reigns just on TV?
that's a I think they can keep Strowman feuding with Reigns, and I also think that it could work while Reigns is feuding with the Undertaker, because we know Taker's not gonna be on Raw, the next 3 Mondays until WrestleMania. Um, Especially since he called Roman Reigns out this past week, and Roman didn't show up. Undertaker did. And basically, like you said, he's like, "Hey, big man, I got no beef with you." And then, oh look, Roman comes out after you know, Undertaker, after Braun leaves. You know what I'm saying? So that creates a narrative all in itself. So, which is pretty cool. Well, not pretty cool, but it's different. So we got a couple different narratives, that could be playing out with Reigns and Braun Strowman and the Undertaker. I mean, I don't think the match is gonna, get turned into like a triple threat match, although that's possible. Um, you know, it's very possible, and I think it would add a nice wrinkle too. Um,
You would actually be for a triple threat match, but with these three guys.
uh, Maybe because it's something different. Because when was the last time Taker was in a triple threat match?
Uh, John, while you're in the chat room, get me that information. When's the last time Undertaker's been in a triple threat match when it comes to WrestleMania? John will let us know. Maybe in 2.5. Personally, I would not go that route because this is about Roman Reigns, who threw Undertaker out of the Royal Rumble. I find it would be
Mm-hmm.
lazy lump Strowman into the match because he has his issues with Roman Reigns. Um, it's kind of unfortunate that we have WrestleMania coming up, um, where we were still in the thick of this feud between these two guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they have Strowman show up at Mania because with Undertaker, his health is is still an issue. John says never, by the way. So there we go. He's never had a triple threat match at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't want this to be the first time. The multi-man match does bode better for him with his health.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have to do as much, but I don't want them to go that route. I feel that it would diminish the win if Roman was to win. It would diminish that win because it wasn't one-on-one.
Okay.
And if the Undertaker pins Strowman, well, what does that? Oh, now he's saying just him facing Big Show and A Train. So what is it, John? Is it or ones? Anyway, if he pins Strowman, that means that he did not beat Roman Reigns, so they'll still have an issue. And then
Right.
Strowman is also taking the pin, on the biggest show of them all. So I don't want to go that route. Now, Strowman could show up and interfere to continue his feud with Roman Reigns while Undertaker recuperates until perhaps SummerSlam. That could possibly happen, but I'm not sure. Okay, it was a handicap match. Got it. Not a triple threat. So never a triple threat. He's been in a handicap match where he still won. Cool. Thank you, John. You're awesome. All right. So let's now shift gears to Tuesday night
Hold on, hold on.
SmackDown.
One more
Oh,
thing that we did not mention:
give it to
the
me.
greatest man that ever lived, Austin Aries.
Austin Aries,
Mm-hmm.
And Neville. Uh, okay. Let's stick with Raw. Let's stick with Raw and go to that. How did that find you?
I was man. I didn't think it was going to happen, especially because Aries was kind of playing, the sympathetic baby face, kind of interviewer. Uh, but you kind of saw his eyes light up once Neville kept getting to this. Oh man, I can't wait for that, dog. Austin Aries versus Neville. If that's a WrestleMania match, I can guarantee you right now, Shane, write it down on this date, March 8th at 9:46 p.m. I said that that's going to be the best match on WrestleMania if they get some time.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. Hey,
The best match on WrestleMania.
that's
Now
the best.
it is a match that I want to see. And the best part about that whole thing is the fans. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, did the WWE know the fans were going to react like that? Because before Aries even started having that shift in the ring about, okay, let me forget being an interviewer for a moment and let me start acting like a man because this dude ain't about to keep punking me in this ring.
Right.
You know, the fans were already over it. They were screaming his name, chanting his name, and it
Mm-hmm.
was just like, you know, did creative know this was going to happen? Because they could have just been chanting CM Punk the entire night, but no, in that moment they were chanting for Austin Aries.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
But
they
yeah,
were.
I'm looking forward to that match. I'm a big Austin Aries fan from way back. Um, but yeah, that I don't know about being like the best match on the card, but if they're given time, they can wow some people. The
Mhm.
best match on the card because they're still cruiserweights, and we know Vince's feelings on small people.
Yeah.
All right, so let's now transition over to SmackDown because their big main event for WrestleMania was finally um, clarified with the number one contender match between AJ Styles and Randy Orton, which just watched it probably about 30 minutes before we came on air. That was
Mhm.
an awesome match, an awesome TV match, and it would have also been an awesome pay per view match. Did you watch it?
I did. As a matter of fact, I'm actually. It's kind of why my attention has been diverted. Um, just kind of like eyes on that match and then eyes back on the computer. Um, because man, I just love watching AJ Styles in the ring. And the little line is, oh man, a guy can't be a heel and do all those babyface moves. Well, look, man, AJ Styles is done it, man. AJ Styles be flipping using his kicks and all that, and it's still. I'll be honest, man. Being an AJ Styles fan from TNA, I never thought he could be a heel. Um, but hey, man, he's like he and KO are the top ones in the company. So I mean, hey, hell of a match.
It was. Um, I'm just happy that it's now clarified that it is going to be Randy versus Bray. I still find it stupid of how we got here,
Yeah,
but it also got us this AJ Styles versus Randy Orton match, which leads me to now want to see another AJ Styles versus Randy Orton match down the line. Because if this is what they gave us on TV, just imagine what they can give us on a big stage
right.
at a pay per view. Um, Now this means AJ is without a match, or at least we thought, because after the show there was little angle filmed backstage that was released on Talking Smack, where AJ Styles gets in the face of Shane McMahon, and they had to be separated. Um, And it looks like we're going to end up getting AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon at WrestleMania. This has been rumored for some time, and it looks like it's going to come to fruition. Are you excited to see AJ Styles versus Shane McMahon
No, not at
at
all.
WrestleMania?
Not at all. I'll be honest, man. Yeah, Shane. It was cool and all for Shane to come back, and he had his match versus Taker last year. But bro, I don't want to see AJ Styles Shane McMahon. Um, I really don't because I don't believe it serves any purpose. I mean, I understand AJ seems like he's being disrespected by Shane. But dog, I don't know, man. It's just I don't. You put them two in a match. I don't think Shane can keep up with AJ. Um, um, I just and you already can kind of assume that AJ is gonna win. Like, what are they gonna fight for? What's the stipulation gonna be? Um, so it's something I just don't want to see. Maybe yeah, because I can't think of a stipulation that they would have to put in that match to make that match makes sense if you understand. So no, I'm not excited for that match at all,
Yeah, neither is
or that
John.
potential match.
I'm not. I as much as I am an AJ Styles fan, as much as I am a Shane McMahon fan. I mean, we share such an awesome name. Uh, I mean, growing up, I was also nicknamed Shane O'Mac. I'm not thrilled for this match because we know what AJ is capable of, and Shane McMahon is he's no slouch in the ring. We know that he enjoys getting in the ring. We know that he enjoys taking risks and all of that.
Right.
But it seems like it's a match that is much lower than it should be right now for AJ Styles. I feel that AJ Styles, after what he's done this past year, from he debuted to the not so good stuff with the club to him going solo and showing how phenomenal he is, this is like, lower than what he should be at.
Right.
Um, but in the same hand, I feel that he is good enough, that this will be watchable. It will be entertaining because he is involved. I
Hmm.
mean, this guy made the James Ellsworth stuff enjoyable.
Yep.
So as bad as it will be, I think it will be okay.
Yeah, I mean, I can agree with that.
Yeah. One other thing with SmackDown, the ladies, Alexa Bliss, who is loved by Darius myself.
Myself
Almost,
as well.
yeah, not you as well, not to the extent that you do Charlotte and her moonsault. Uh, but you we see on SmackDown that she is now going to fight a bevy of women.
Hmm.
We don't even know who all these women are. There's the matches. Daniel Bryan stated Alexa Bliss will fight all available women on SmackDown. Um, so that means like Renee Young could decide that she wants to run in there. Is this going to be a gauntlet match? Is this going to be a battle royal? I'm curious to know how this Alexa versus the world, as Hot Dog is saying, how this match is gonna go down. But
Yeah, I'm
I'm
anxious.
hoping Alexa comes out. Do you see her retaining? You know, or do you see somebody else winning?
The only way I don't see her retaining is if Asuka uh, makes her way to SmackDown on WrestleMania.
Asuka. Now,
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure of the the injury update, but perhaps Naomi, makes a surprise return. She didn't actually lose the title. She had to give it up because of injury. Maybe she goes into the hyperbolic chamber and comes out fully healed. You know, I
I know
feel
she
that she
tweeted
could.
today that she's gonna try to make WrestleMania. That's what she tweeted today.
I could see her winning if she was to come back.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know about somebody just debuting at Mania because then that kind of so I mean the only way that could happen then is that Daniel Bryan, alludes to the fact that there's been some new signings. I don't know. because he did mention all females who are currently SmackDown employed.
Oh wow.
So I don't know about that.
Mhm.
Um, speaking of Daniel Bryan, one last thing on WWE before we quickly talk Hardys and wrap this up. Daniel Bryan mentioned on Talking Smack when he and The Miz are having, their epic back and forths that
Yeah,
they
apparently
they
Miz was excellent on Talking Smack this past week. Again, Stokes was raving about it. I didn't get a chance to see it.
yeah, whenever he's on, him and Daniel tend to just continue working their magic together. But the Miz is going at Daniel Bryan, and then and the fact that Daniel can't wrestle and mentions we'll see in a year and a half.
Oh, really?
So there's a little chatter going on. What does that mean? Is Daniel going to be returning to the ring? You know, is his contract going to be up? Why is a year and a half? That's so darn long.
Right. That's
Uh,
kind of like you know, going on right now and saying The Rock and John Cena will headline WrestleMania next year.
so take that as you will, but I guess we'll see what happens. A year and a half from now would put us next year September.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. All right. Real quick, the Hardys. Darius and I spoke about the Hardys last week when their contract with TNA expired. They never re-signed. We badmouthed TNA management and how they've let some big name talents leave.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Many people expected to see the Hardys go to WWE, but currently they've signed a deal with Ring of Honor, and they're also the new Ring of Honor Tag Team Champions.
Okay.
Um, but this does not mean that their time in WWE is not soon approaching.
Right.
Not sure how long this deal with Ring of Honor is, but I mean, even Jim Ross has said, don't be surprised if you don't, if you see, don't be surprised if you see the Hardys in WrestleMania not too long after WrestleMania. Not,
Okay.
don't be
Yeah.
surprised if you see the Hardys in WWE the sometime after WrestleMania. That's what I'm trying to get at.
No. Yeah.
What do you think?
Uh, I mean, hey, I'm all for it. Um, I really, even though I haven't seen much of it, I really enjoy, this uh delete, broken Matt brother Nero pairing. Um, so I've really enjoyed that. Just by the little bit that I've seen. So I'm all for it. If the Hardys come to the E, I'm with that. If they don't, I think WWE is missing out on, you know, uh, just strengthening the tag team division.
One can only hope that's what they actually do. And like I've mentioned with Darius, that they don't just become a nostalgic act like they did with the Dudleys in their last.
Right.
Okay, well, with that, ladies and gentlemen, I know that we started late, but we don't want to keep you too much from what you normally do on your Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock. Um, we are going to sign off for this episode. We thank you for listening live on YouTube, or if you check out YouTube afterwards, thank you for checking us out. Make sure you do so every Wednesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern. And we'll be back next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Listen out for us on all those places you can get podcasts, whether it's iTunes, Google Play, Podomatic, Stitcher, TuneIn, wherever you can get your podcast from, get us there. Tell your friends. Next time it won't be, technical issues like it was tonight.
Mm-hmm.
My name is Shane Howard.
I'm Courtney
That
McIntosh.
and this is Hit the Ropes, and we are out.